goes. Guys, we're back. Ready to release this fish.
This damn fish is about as big as I can, bro.
What's up, guys? Captain Cook here, Nautical Pride Sport Fishing, coming to you from my pop shop in Richmond, Virginia. Out here, we're going to do a two-part video today. First half's going to be a little bit of boat maintenance, boring stuff, but good knowledge nonetheless. And if all goes well, we're going to go out, test it out, hopefully do a little bit of fishing. So y'all are going to stay tuned for this. Now a little bit of backstory on why we're out here doing boat maintenance on this beautiful bluebird day. Weekend before last, had a tournament, and I noticed during the tournament the motor was doing a little bit of surging. Generally these older era 90s, 80s motors, Mercury's, they had a 2+2 version that came out where they surged a little bit. There was a delay in power at times in the mid-range, almost like a power band. So I didn't think much of it, honestly, even though it hasn't done it before. I haven't had this boat and this motor very long, but I did notice it. But no, everything was good. Everything ran fine. We finished the tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't have 130 pounds, but that's beyond the point. So earlier this week, I went out to go and mess around on the river, just play around, put the boat in the water. Noticed I was having trouble starting it. That's typically something I don't really have with this boat. It's usually turnkey, boom, it's ready to go. And that wasn't the case, so I thought maybe it was a little bit of carbon buildup. Couldn't figure it out. Eventually got it started. So we went to take off, go catch a little bit of bait, and the next thing you know, the motor wouldn't pull up on plane. It was dying out, it's bogging out. So I'm thinking, well, maybe we got some water in the gas. Was my immediate, go-to. So we pulled it back to the dock. I pulled the cowl off, started messing with the carburetors, just trying to see what I could do right there, if it was anything immediate that I just saw, maybe something came undone. And just knocking around, generally found that the port side bank was cool. I felt the starboard side, and it was warm. So that left me with two things. One, the power head's been blown up, or two, we have some kind of electrical failure. Luckily, it isn't the power head in this case. I don't always get that lucky, but this time we were. So I started knocking around a little bit and diagnosed the problem as a bad power pack. Wasn't getting any fire on my port bank. That's where this little guy comes into play. Got this off of Amazon for 40 bucks. Now, this is an off-brand version. So today, we are going to put to the test your genuine Mercury parts, Sierra parts, to these off-brand, which Sierra is an off-brand byproduct, but they still are kind of somewhat pricey. You buy this from Mercury, it's going to be probably 250 bucks just for one of these. Now you have two, one for your starboard, one for your port side. Again, I got this for 40 bucks. Fingers crossed, we're going to just slap it on, see what we got. Y'all stay tuned. This is the crown jewel. Just a little bit of a mess right now that we're currently redoing. We tore out the floor. That box is just temporary. That's our live well for now. We're about to buy some starboard PVC board and box it all in and make it level with the deck, bring it out a little bit further. At the moment, we just had that. It was convenient and it worked. We were able to plumb it. But got most of the floor out, diamond plated everything. We actually lost weight on that deal, so it was pretty cool. Now back here. So while we're out here today, get my drink. Yep. There we go. Might not be able to see me. So where did my power pack go? boom. So here we are. It's a pretty easy fix. It looks a little bit more complicated than it is, but it isn't. It's basically unbolt it from here, wire it all back up the same way, put it back on there, let it rip. So that's what we're gonna do. Got this Phillips. Have one down here at the bottom. Right. And so it may occurred, how did I distinguish which power pack was the one that we're trying to go after? I can't turn this around right now, but we have the port side motor, we have the starboard side. If any of y'all took navigation class, you should know that. If you don't, now you know. You're welcome. So either way, we have these two wires that run off these power packs. You have the front one and the back one. It doesn't distinguish which side it is, you just got to follow the wires. So we're going to follow these wires over here. You can see 5, 3, and 1 are on this side, and we can see this loop right here. It runs out to this side. So we follow that over, boom, trace it, and lucky our day, it's the first one. So boom, we got that moving freely. It's off of there. Now all we have to do is take our nut driver, and you can use a ratchet, whatever means that you want, and you're just going to undo, boom, 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 line them all back up in the same order with our new one. Anybody knows our general background of us in boats, we know that my dad owned a marina from the time I was born. Beyond that, that's what his daddy did, that's what he did forever until the market crashed in 2008, and we got kind of forced out of there because no one was buying boats, nobody was fixing boats, people weren't even putting gas in their boats. So you can understand why that was kind of a troubling time for us. But anyway, we got this off. Now, I've done this once or twice. One thing that I wanted to note out is on the Mercury version is it has it labeled red, blue, black and yellow, black and white, all that. Now, something that I was surprised about, which makes this incredibly simple, you don't have to, spend $1,500 at your local boat shop to do this. And I was actually really surprised that this one came like that, being that it was the $40 version. They have everything lined up on there as well. I don't know if you can see that. All nice and easy. It's nice and clear. You can see everything in there. I was actually surprised about that. It's pretty cool, which makes this a breeze. Tip I will say when it comes to putting this back on is if you actually install it back to the block, it makes it much easier to line all this stuff up and screw it back on. Just a helpful tip instead of trying to stand there and put it all back together in hand. Boom, there you have it, guys, all hooked back up. This whole process took maybe 30 minutes. let's go ahead and hook her up to the water and see what happens. We conquered. Now it's time to go to the river and catch some fish. I mean, test it out. Alright guys, we're out here. Leaving out of Hopewell. We'll go up to Appomattox, give her a little test run. I'm gonna try and keep the phone running and drive at the same time. Started up good. See if we can pull her up on plane. I done said it once, I done say it again. That back there is the sound of America. Only one thing left to do now. Go over and pull this gill net in. See if we can get on some fish. Y'all stay tuned. Guys, sun's going down. Got my net soaking over there. Got my little grubs and cream worms tied on. I'm gonna try and catch a little perch, maybe even a crappie. We'll see how that goes. And back at the dock. All those hardcore fishermen, they're still out there, as you can tell by the parking lot. Truthfully, I probably would be too if I didn't have all my camera gear in this bag. Phew. Wind's blowing pretty good. Toss that bitch right there for now. God damn. Got cold on us tonight, folks. And my buddy Chris Davis meet us at the ramp after that last rain shower came through. It's kind of done filming for the night. Kind of forgot about it till chaos ensued. Just weighed this fish out, came out to 58 pounds or more. Give her a big old hug. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Big girl.
Big girl. She's decently long too. So we're gonna do what we do. Like always. Let them go.
Let them grow.
As the rain left out, it actually turned out to be a pretty good night. Oh yeah, go on. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Off the water, and I'm on the way to work. I might have fell asleep. I slept a little bit later than I wanted to. Shout out to my buddy Chris Davis, came out, fished with us. Kind of last minute, wasn't planned, but he ain't had much going on, and figure with the boat being new anyway, it'd be nice to have somebody else out there. If something arose, got us on a good one. Caught a couple tonight. That was the biggest, of course. Didn't really get the takedown on film. If you like what we're doing, make sure you like and subscribe. Boat ran great. I'm happy. Hope y'all are too. Catch y'all later.